All right, going back to this break preparation part here, put on the white noise. And go to ping and insert another MIDI track and put this into some bit darker green here and rename it to hashtag open hi-hat. Okay, now go to the core samples and take this search out here and go to OHH1. Drag it onto this MIDI channel to create a new simpler device and go in there and create a MIDI clip lasting one pattern. So 1 bar, insert MIDI clip and rename it to open hi-hat. Double click and let's take C3 at the 3rd position always. So here, 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 and here. If it's hard to see, let's put it into 1/8. Okay, now we have this 4 MIDI notes and put it into preview mode, taking down the gain on the channel. And select all of them and bring the velocities down to 60. Okay, and insert some effects. So we are taking an EQ8. Low cut up to 740. Look for a reverb. Actually look for warm reverb long. Put that in here as well. Take off low, high, spin, high, chorus, all that stuff, and bring it down. That's still way too long. Let's take the decay time down to less than a second, 800 milliseconds. So we're getting this special room and drive it down to 10%. Echo up to high. Okay, pan it to the left, 10 measures, and put the 4th return channel a delay up a bit, 45. Okay, also double click on this EQ and put in a utility because we are going to automate this one later. So we can control it here. And also I kind of want to remove a bit of the harshness of the attack. So we are starting a bit later. Let's zoom in to see more of this. It's not too precise here. And maybe take 5%, but then also bring up the attack to 15 milliseconds here. Let's go back to 12. And let's bring the start value down to 2%. So it should be smooth, but not too soft. Also, take a look at the controls and maybe transpose it 2 or 3 semitones. Yeah, let's see that in context. All right, this reverse effect needs to be more quiet here. Okay, drag it up to 129 and keep it there. But then let's just copy what we did, duplicate, and call this one hashtag fast hi-hat, and pick a sample called OHH2. It's basically the same sample, just saw that, but let's go to the controls and transpose it down 1 semitone, so we are at +2 now. And put that one to the right, 10 measures. Also take off the send delay here. Okay, back to the sample. And let's turn off a bit of sustain. Yeah, maybe -15. And a bit more attack. 1.8. And take off this warm reverb and instead load a simple delay from the audio effects and drag it in front of the utility and put it on link mode here and set it to delay time 3. Feedback up. $25 maybe. Okay, let's rename this MIDI to fast hi-hat. Go inside of the MIDI pattern and now set it to 32 notes or to 16 notes. Yeah, that's better. And let's pick up all of these notes and hold Alt and copy them around here like this. And now what I want to do, I'm also copying one up here. So I'm selecting all these guys and take it down like this, really, really far down. Now take this one and copy it here on the 3rd position. So we have fast hi-hats now. And we're emphasizing on the 3rd position. And let's put in a sidechain compressor from the compressors here and put that behind the simple delay and take the audio input from the sidechain as always, sidechain kick here, bring down threshold. And I think we are not playing the sidechain here, but else we're maybe using that in other parts and then we can trigger from the sidechain. Let's just drag it longer to see it working. So this works already. And let's play it all together. And take down the level of the fast hi-hat to -19. And take the open hi-hat and track delay -10 milliseconds and the fast hi-hat track delay +10 milliseconds. So they're more separate, and let's actually bring it down to -25, the fast hi-hat here. All right, let's create another MIDI track. Also color it green and call it hashtag Great Ride. Look for a sample from the course folders called Great Ride. Right, and create a bar of MIDI. Right click in the top part, insert MIDI clip, and rename it to Great Ride. Go in there and select 1/8 notes. C3, and just play 1. Well, actually take that longer. We're playing 4 times each bar. Very simple. Take this longer. Bring down the gain here. Bring it down further. Minus 18 maybe. All right. Of course, another low cut is necessary. EQ8, as always. Let's say 600, almost 700. And let's put up a reverb. No processing, no diffusion processing, no flat cut, dry wet down. That's almost enough, a bit longer maybe, 140. Okay, and a simple delay behind that. 2 to 6, dry wet down, feedback up. That's actually too much feedback. Let's go down to 15. Okay, and a utility behind it to make sure we can automate it later. And let's play it together. Yeah, and bring it down a bit more. Minus 21. And let's put in another MIDI track and drag on a sample called Perk Knock. Actually, for this one, we can use a MIDI pattern we already created. And we are taking the pattern created here in the white noise from Massive. Let's select it here and like copy this pattern, those 3 bars, and bring it down to the Perk Knock, but make sure we're at the same position. So here it starts at 124, and we want to do the same thing here. So let's bring this down, minus 15. If we play it together with the white noise. Rename this to Perk Knock. Okay, and put in a EQ8 like this. Let's put in an auto filter. Maybe we are going to filter this automatically or automate the filter later. Put it to 900 Hertz here. Right? Put it all the way to the right, like 30 measures. Okay. And now let's get rid of a little bit of the stuff around 1 kilohertz. It's a bit more knocky without this tone. So I'm roughly around 1 kilohertz and I'm putting the Q up to 1.3. Okay, we are getting closer to what we're looking for. And let's quickly go to the instruments down here. And we have this ARP support. So basically above this pipe here, let's select this ARP down and insert a MIDI track and call this one hashtag reversed. And take this Perk Knock pattern for now and put that in here. And go to Core Samples and select a file called Reversed. And that's a reversed sound. And let's quickly play it. And we will actually play this a bit longer. We will also play a complete chord on it later. But now let me just make those notes a bit longer, like this. And bring down the gain. Okay, and now let's put on some effects. We're looking for an effect called Stereo Vibrato. It's a frequency shifter. Yeah, and dry wet up a bit. So it's a bit more phasey. Now let's look for another effect called Soft Shaper. It's a saturator, soft shaper, a bit more saturation onto this thing. A bit more drive. Well, let's play around with that later actually. And let's go to the audio effects down to vinyl distortion and select non-real. Getting a bit more crunchy. And now we put in an EQ8 and a low cut, like this. Roll off the lowest 200 Hertz and put in a final utility here to be sure we can automate again. Okay, let's rename this thing to reversed. Actually, it's a reverse stab, so let's call it reverse stab. And color it red. What red is it? Is it this red? Yeah. Okay, if we go quickly back up to our effects, we need another audio track here. And this one is going to be called Reverse Blob. There's going to be one part of the song where we need this sample, and it's going to be right in front of bar 73. So I'm putting it in there. It's actually this one here, 120 audio minus 1 R. Okay, let's pick this one and play it. And we will position that one correctly a bit later. I'm just taking it down for now. That one needs to be adjusted to the part where we are playing it, and we will do that in the next couple of steps. And now a final thing is missing here. I'm inserting another audio, and we're looking for a file called Woot. This one. And let's just place this one to 69 on audio 40 here. And rename the track to #Woot. Just the name of how I think it sounds. And put that one to the left. 19 measures. Bring it down -10 or something. And go into the sample and transpose it to -2. So we have the right note. Actually, we need to adjust this one as well here. Go down -2. That's for sure already. And put the segment speed to 123. That's something I know already. How long are we going to play this actually? This reverse blob. I think we will play it like 4 bars, like this. So we can drag it a bit longer here. And this is what it should look like if we very roughly place it in here, like this maybe. So you see, it's not correct. It needs something like this here, but we will do that in one of the next steps more correctly. So now we have 40 drum elements and effects set up, and it's been quite a bit of work. Let's put them into green so we can see the differences made more easily. And I'm actually going to color those in this green here as well. And maybe color this FX here in this other green, as well as the ping into this other green. So we have a bit of an overview of what happened. And if we take a closer look at everything we have now, closing this, we can see, like right now, all tracks we are going to use are set up. And now we can actually arrange and produce our track and make those transitions and everything and go from here. Now really perfect the track from here. Now we have all the elements needed. So what we did in this part was we added in those open hi-hats and fast hi-hats here and another ride sound for our break part. And we added in this percussive knock sound. This one. And also we put in this reversed sound here, because that's also going to play a role. And then we put in this reverse blob, which still needs to be adjusted when we are working on this drop part here. And we put in this woot kind of thing, which is going to play here and there right after drops. For example, it's also going to play after 55 when we enter this drop. Yeah, it's absolutely going to play there. So this is what we have so far. And now we can go on.